Not that. I guess that just wasn't meant to be. So I had to cut in there. I apologize to anybody that has actually waited. I don't think I have that many people that were waiting for 30 minutes, but I know there was a couple because they text me. But I do appreciate you. Good afternoon, Free from Tampa. Facebook user present. I appreciate you. Anybody in the Facebook space, I can't see you when you come through the Hap space unless you're subscribed to the Hap space. Not trying to get you to do that, but I am trying to get you to do that. But I apologize for being late. I had to see my grandkids today. I haven't been able to see my grandkids for a little bit. Um, you know, this whole pandemic thing. So it's caused us to be segregationist, I guess, or separatist, as it were. Um, and I wanted to talk about integration today because I believe that we are lost in really what integration was supposed to be. You know, I know that there's going to be couples that are integrated, and I know that there's areas that are integrated, but I don't believe that society is integrated. And now we've had this come up recently where they've talked about is America a racist country? And we've had some of the most powerful politicians, all the way up to the most powerful politician in this country, say that the country's not racist, when indeed we know the country's racist, or they wouldn't be making racist bills. So, or anti-racism bills. But yeah, I had to do that. I mean, I'm in my grandkids' life a certain way. I look to have that obviously grow as they continue to get older. Um, but when you don't see them for a while, and it's almost like you're grounded, you feel punished. I do. I'm not saying, I can't speak for everybody else, but when I don't see them or talk to them for any length of time, I'm not right. My spirit ain't right. So I appreciate it. Sister Cosetta, welcome to the space. I appreciate you coming in from Facebook, and Sue coming in from Facebook. Oh, Sue coming in from YouTube. I appreciate that. So we got YouTube, Facebook, and Hapspace going. I appreciate that. Let's exercise all these platforms. And anybody that checked in yesterday with information, man, I appreciate that. That was by far my longest video on the Hapspace. I don't know what the max time is, but we went over an hour and a half. Um, Great discussion on a multitude of topics. Obviously, white supremacy. Um, but it was great. And I think there was over 300 comments in the chat room yesterday. So that was beautiful. So anybody else that checks this out today, I appreciate your support, and we're going to continue to grow. And, I won't always be in my car. I won't be in my car probably next month, where everything's shaping up. So, I'll make less videos in the car, more videos in studio. But when I do them in the car, maybe we'll have it set up. I do them a certain way or for certain topics or whatever. But I wanted to talk about integration. But before we get to integration, boy, we got a lot of shit happening out here. And it looks like the city of Ann Arbor, which I'm sitting in, is going to make Juneteenth a real thing. Like, they've been celebrating it for the last several years, but it looks like it's going to be a real thing. Now, I'm actually going to go to the post that I saw earlier in the Ann Arbor Politics page, and it's not to throw shade on the person who put the post up, because they're actually a pretty decent person. But I want to go to the MLive article that was put up. And I know they've gotten the NAACP involved. I don't have any faith in the NAACP. I don't know this person, It looks like he has the name of a family that I know, so maybe I do know him by family, but I don't know this individual. I don't deal with the NAACP. After they turned me away when I was actually fucked up with the Ann Arbor police and they did nothing about it, I left the NAACP home alone locally for years and didn't contribute to anything that they did until my daughter was an NAACP academic recipient uh, award winner, and we went to their dinner, their $50 a plate dinner, that dry ass steak that they had. But anyways, um, it looks like they're making this a real thing, and I definitely want to commend the city of Ann Arbor for finally coming around. Where I guess I have a problem is they looking to make this a real thing, but it looks like the black folks ain't even got their shit together. I mean, knowing that this is probably coming down the pike, knowing what happened after last year, they did their march from the park to Wheeler Park, basically, the park to park, whatever. The protest, the parade, when they call it a march, it was a parade. They did that. Seemed like this year, knowing that this was going to be put into play, that they would have had their shit together. They did not have their shit together. So once again, somebody's it's a bone, it's a small bone, but somebody put something else out there, but we ain't got our shit together. Now I'm gonna call white supremacy out anytime I can. And I absolutely believe that Christopher Taylor is doing this because he needs to take some of the heat off of himself for the way he treats black people around the city of Ann Arbor. I absolutely 100% believe that he's doing that for this reason. Other than that, the other people that are involved, seeing that there's no black people in power on city government, so there's really no insight. I don't know who their helpers are in this. I don't know if they're just going right to the NAACP and they figure if we get the colored people to do, oh, that's not going to work out. He doesn't have rear park assist on his vehicle, and he barely missed hitting somebody pulling in. That's nuts. I damn near see an accident every day now, just careless driving. He should have been able to see that car if he was looking back, but he wasn't looking back, and he almost hit it. And that guy had no idea he was just trying to go get his food. I see. Anyway, um, yeah, but they looks like they are supposed to have something planned, but they don't have it planned, and it says uh, they're going to do another virtual celebration. And last year's theme for March were racial justice, and we're in the process of coming up with a theme for this year. Now it's May 11th, so we're talking 30 days, 38 days away, and they don't have a plan for what they're going to do now for the actual time that they get this thing to be a holiday. That's a problem. We never have our shit together, free. And like I said, as much as I bang on white supremacy, I bang on us for not having our shit together. Because white supremacy can then attack that. And then that's how they infiltrate, and then they'll get to planning our shit. They'll be like, oh, since y'all don't know how to plan your own Juneteenth celebration, let us plan it for you. See, this is how it always happens. Let us give you some help. Let us give you the resources. But see, when you put inept people in charge of shit, and I'm not saying that the president of the NAACP is inept, but he's probably not an event planner. I'm just going to bank on the fact that he's not an event planner. He needs an event planner. And seeing that he doesn't have an event planner, this is what happens. When they pass you the baton, your ass drops it. That's a problem. So where I believe they've got a little white guilt going, okay, we need a little black guilt going because we ain't got our shit together. And I'm not going to single them out. I always go with the collective. Anybody new, they know I call this shit the same way. I don't take myself outside of blackness when shit goes wrong, and I don't try to jump in and be in the middle of it when shit goes right. If we fucked up out here, we all fucked up. If we doing good out here, we all doing good. It's a team effort. It's about the collective. But this was some dumb shit. And I'm going to get with my friend and let her know to redo. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and message her now and tell her she needs to change her date. Because she had something in here and it didn't look right, but I just wanted to make sure that they weren't trying to change. Actually, that's the way I would say it. So, I appreciate the city of Ann Arbor recognizing the stoppage of legal slavery. I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is the colored people not having their shit together, knowing what they're going to be able to do, whether it be in person or virtually, for the celebration. That's just I'm not sure exactly what else to say about that other than it's fucked up. And we don't have it together. There are a lot of cities doing the same thing, Juneteenth and Pride Month at the same time. Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, We got over the whole Black History Month being the shortest month, the coldest month. That's a month that they don't want nobody outside, nobody doing shit. Then here we go. We got Juneteenth, and we know that's been around since 1865. But then they make that the gay month. So, it can't be the red, black, and green month. It's got to be the red, black, green, indigo, orange. It's Roy G. Biv. What's that? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. It's got to be the whole rainbow coalition. Very strange how they did that. So a month that we celebrate our freedom, gay people get to celebrate their pride. Hey, it is what it is. The one thing that I do know too is the city of Ann Arbor, when they let them have their 2 street thing, the little cross street thing over there, the black folks, instead of letting them have that weekend, they schedule other events around that time, so it fractionalizes the population. So you really never gonna get everything you need to get out of that festival, because they will schedule, and I've seen it, I've been a part of it. I was literally down there, I'm like, well, wait a minute, what's going on down at Main Street if you got this going right here down at 4th and Ann? Oh, that's another festival they doing down here. Well, why they doing 2 festivals on the same weekend? All the weekends in the summer, Ann Arbor could damn near have a festival every other weekend, or every weekend, or however they want to do it, leading up to football season. But why would they need to put this festival the same weekend? It hadn't been 2 festivals, but now what they're doing, it's like festival weekend. And if they think that they're going to tell me that, well, people will walk over from this area to this area and it can be all one good thing, no. That doesn't work that way. If it's the African American festival weekend, why are you doing the Greek festival over there? Greek people come over to the African festival, and African Americans might want to go to the Greek festival. But why can't they be 2 weekends? See, I call bullshit on that, but see, I had tried to put my input in on that, but the Negroes that was in charge of the African American festival in Ann Arbor didn't understand, because like I said, you gotta be an event planner. You can't just want to throw a party. You can't just want to have some shit happen. You gotta cover all your bases. But since you don't want to cover all your bases, I'll keep letting you motherfuckers hit foul balls until you get a single or a double. Because you're not hitting home runs out here. Not in the city in Ann Arbor. But everybody else is hitting home runs. You at 4th and Ann, but that festival's over on Main Street. How come they never gave the African American Festival Main Street? Now, I know that there were black businesses and all that stuff in that corridor, but there ain't no black businesses in there now. It's not even an important block for black people now. The only thing that black people go to a lot in that corridor is the courtroom. So why don't you just go on over to the main street, and have your festival? Why? Because they won't let you. But they let the Greek folks have their festival over there. Huh. They let the Greek folks have their festival right over there. So it is what it is. Did you hear about Melinda Gates? We're gonna segue because I want to get to integration. Seeing that they can't integrate the festivals, let's get to integration a little quicker. Melinda Gates. It is said, obviously, we knew it wasn't money. We knew it wasn't business. It had to be some personal shit. 27 years, and Melinda Gates says, I'm up out of this bitch. 27 years. Melinda Gates says she got uncomfortable with Bill Gates' relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. She got uncomfortable with it. What is that telling you? What is that telling you? She became uncomfortable with his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He might have cheated, Free, but who did he cheat with? I'm not so concerned that he cheated, because I'm sure he cheated. Okay? I'm sure he cheated multiple times. But now I'm concerned with who was he with? Who was he with? Why was his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein so thorough? I mean, I'm sorry, but him and Jeffrey Epstein just didn't really have a lot in common in my book. Now, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, I could see them being two peas in a pod. Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein, other than the money, I don't see where they jive. I don't see where they party. There's other people who I think would have fucked with Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Gates wasn't one of them. Bill Gates just seems so fucking circumspect, so sneaky. Jeffrey Epstein was all out about his shit. The motherfucker had an island. He had an island and everybody knew what happened on that island. So there's a problem. There is a problem. And it's going to come out. If it's this early in the game, there's going to be some shit that comes out. Because I already said, oh, girl knows some shit. And they keeping her under lock and key right now. She knows some shit. Hopefully she can make it to her trial all the way to her prison cell. I don't know if she's going to make it. I believe she has the key to unlock all this shit. I do believe that. So when Bill Gates takes some trip to some weird ass place and she comes up dead one weekend, hey, they better just start connecting the dots. Because all them motherfuckers that was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, when his ass came up dead, talking about he killed himself, right after he had figured out this shit wasn't going to go good, and it was either going to be make a deal and you still going to spend the rest of your life, or don't make a deal and you still going to spend the rest of your life. He turns up dead. Yeah, okay. Jeffrey was looking for immunity. He was looking to talk a little bit and walk a little bit. And it was like, you ain't going to walk no way, no how. And he was like, fuck y'all. Jeffrey's dead. Same thing's going to happen to her. They don't give her the deal she wants. Shit. She ain't got nothing to lose but her breath. But her breath. So yeah, that's what's happening there. But let's just jump into integration here, because I ain't gonna keep y'all. I ain't gonna keep it like I did yesterday. I had Information Man on there yesterday, and that back and forth with him, and I apologize for stepping on him the way I did. There'd be a delay sometimes, and I didn't know if he was talking or gonna respond to something, and we didn't really have an information format set up. So we was just going back and forth. And you're going to get that. When you get two alphas going, you're going to get that. You're going to get that. So I want to get to integration. And integration, it's got to come from somewhere, right? So it's got to come from integrate.
Integrate.
I wonder why some words be a male voice and some words be a female voice.
Integrate.
Integrate, okay? I'm gonna read the whole definition so it can really break down how fucked up this country is. We know where we are right now. We know exactly where we are right now. But when they started talking about integration from segregation, things were supposed to change. And I can go to segregation, but I don't need to go to that now, because I go to segregate and then integrate. It's supposed to be antonyms. But I'm going to show you how we can be integrated and segregated at the same time. Combine one thing with another so that they become whole. Now, I don't know why that doesn't sit with me right, because it makes it seem like if you combine a half of something else, you combine a whole of something else and a whole of something else, you don't get double whole. You're just getting a whole. Because black people, we was good. We was good. White people, they were obviously good. But if you merge societies, we should be good. If they good, we good. Now we living amongst each other. But see, integration wasn't that. Now we'll go dealing with people. That was just a thing. Bring people or groups with particular characteristics or needs into equal participation or membership of a social group or institution. So basically, they're talking about bringing different ethnicities together, characteristics. Okay. We're going to bring y'all narrow noses in with y'all wide noses. We're going to bring y'all dark-skinned people in with y'all white people. They don't want to put that in there. That's what it is. That's the characteristics. We're going to bring wide hips in with narrow hips. We're going to bring big booties in with flat booties. Is that what it is? That what characteristics you talking about? Even the motherfucking dictionary be on some white supremacist shit. So when you start thinking about words that we use in the daily language, these are synonyms. These are words that we use every single day. Because integration meant we were supposed to be able to, and the word is in here, commingle. But the other similar words are combine, merge, unite, join, fuse, blend, mingle, consolidate, intermingle, incorporate. Incorporate was the one that I always picked out. Yeah, I picked out this one. Take in or contain as a part of a whole. Okay? So you had black people, you had white people. You bring them together, you're incorporated, working together. But see, white people had black people working for them for so long, they didn't know how to incorporate. They just knew how to dominate. They just knew how to rule by force, not even with tact, not even with couth. They just knew how to rule by force, by brutality and murder. So you want to take that from them. You want to take that ability to control by brute force, by killing people. You know, people want to talk all this crazy shit about how far we've come, and it's only been 50 years since the second time they gave us the opportunity to vote. The first time was 100 years before that. And we've had so much shit happen since then with voter suppression and all this. We hear that voter suppression shit now, we be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. Now, the ones that want to just keep throwing the shit up in the air, look, man, you need a goddamn ID for everything. You should have an ID. If you a grown motherfucker, you need to have an ID. Them telling you need an ID to vote, that's not a big deal. That shouldn't be a deal breaker here. That's not voter suppression. That's not Jim Crow. Having 2 ballot boxes is Jim Crow. Like, here's their voter registration place. It's a school. And have our shit over here be a motherfucking tent outside on a rainy day. That's voter suppression. A lot of people ain't gonna come to stand outside and vote. But they'll walk in that nice building there, but you can't walk in there unless you're white. Stop acting like you can't vote. They're just making it difficult. They're not making it impossible. They're making it difficult. Jim Crow made it impossible to do shit. Unify, assimilate, another word I like. Absorb and integrate people, ideas, or culture into a wider society or culture. I've read that definition, so I knew what it was going to say. Wider society. If you take one collection of people and you take another collection of people, society gets wider. What they wanted to make happen was make us all squeeze in and have the same shit pop out of it. We make no more, they get more, we make no more. They didn't want things to expand. I'm talking about white supremacists, I'm talking about bigots, I'm talking about racists. Integration fucked us up because we chose white people being nice to us versus white people getting the fuck out of the way and letting us do us. See, if white people get the fuck out the way and let us do us, we good. Give us the resources, give us the access, and get the fuck out of the way. Oh, you know they killed Jeffrey's ass. Oh, absolutely. And you know, anybody with a bassy voice, you already got to know. You already got to know. Anytime you put some bass in it, then they look around, just like a kid. A woman can say something to a kid all day. The man come in and say something, use the same exact word. Kids change. And I'm not saying a woman doesn't have control up to that time, but kids grow immune to that maternal voice. But they never go immune to that bass. That bass shuts your ass down. It does. I don't know what dudes with real light voices, I don't know what they do. Because if you sound like your wife, your kids ain't going to listen to you. Maybe that's why Joe Jackson was like that. Joe didn't have a real deep voice. You know, he had that, he had that kind of a light voice, and all of them had light voices. Everybody had a light voice, I think, except Tito. They never let Tito sing. Tito never sang lead. You know that? He never sang lead. Just played his guitar. Tried to keep up with the dance moves. So then you got homogenize. I don't like that synonym. Homogenize. Make uniform or similar. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. Homogenize. For people, you can't homogenize. We are not the same. No two people are the same. Even identical twins aren't the same. But that's this world. Integrate, homogenize. That is not a good synonym. Harmonize. I like that. Make consistent or compatible. And that's pretty much the way it's been. It's been consistent. Racism has never stopped. It's been on point. Compatibility, okay. That's in the eye of the beholder. Mesh. Lock together or be engaged with another gear wheel. I don't know. I don't know why that had to be in there, but it's in there. I think the most important word in here is incorporate. The two factions of people should be incorporated, and they're not. And now that we've got all of these other factions of people, I know if anybody's on here or is going to see this, I'm like, why is he only talking about black and white people? There's so many more people. Well, before 1965, y'all motherfuckers really wasn't here in masses. Less than 1% integration, so it was black and white folks. Y'all was just sprinkled in. You had to sprinkle over here, you had to sprinkle over here. But integration came about with hesitance from white people. You know, it was a couple of days ago when I played that shit when they were talking about The black people in the neighborhood. I mean, come on, man. Some black people lauded that. I'm the first nigga in my block. Ain't no black people in my block. That's not really something you salute. I've heard people say that shit. I'm the only one black over here. And you feel good about that? You feel good about that? You feel good that you're the only one over here? Talk to me in 6 months when you're fucking spray painting the nigger off your garage. Talk to me in 6 months when you're putting up your third mailbox because they blew that bitch off of there with a couple firecrackers. Talk to me in 6 months when you done spoke to every neighbor on the block and ain't nobody said shit to you. Okay? I've never taken pride of being the only black person any motherfucking where. You know how long it's been since segregation? Legalized segregation? So for me to be walking around this bitch talking about I'm the first black person to be somewhere, that's why I hate that first shit. When they be putting that, we the first this. This is the first time we've done this. This is the first time we've done that. Really, motherfucker? In the 21st century, we still talking about first? And you dumb motherfuckers are lauding that shit? We should not be talking about the first as black people right now. Everything that's happened in this motherfucking country, other than enslaving somebody, probably should have happened with black people. Why are we the first this? It's the first time this has ever happened. First time this person's ever taught here. First time this person's ever done. What? When black people, when American medicine was being made and being mastered off the blood of black men, women, and children, you had black men and women in doctors' offices helping them. You know how many fucking creations happened in medical labs and black people had shit to do with them? All because they were in there just to be the help, to move shit along. But every now and then, a doctor would get stuck. And we get stuck, who we gonna turn around and talk to? The people that's in the room. Other doctors ain't in there, they doing other shit. You got lab technicians, you got helpers. And they were black. But they never got any type of credit for any type of creation in those medical labs. Just like Thomas Edison is who we know and we give credit for the lights. But they don't want to talk about Brother Latimer? Really? Y'all remember him? Thomas Edison was scratching his motherfucking head till Brother Latimer got on the scene. Shit. That's that. And if there hadn't been that integration, would we be sitting in the dark still? We walking around with fucking lanterns still? Shit, who created the lantern? Did a black person create the lantern? We know he created lights. We didn't get credit for that. But did we create lanterns too? Shit. This motherfucker might just be dark. It might just be dark if black people hadn't been around. Once the sun go down, ain't nothing happening until nighttime. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we get some black people on the scene. They can help us get some light. That's why when I see these young ladies out here, making candles and shit. I've tried to breathe a little history into a few of them. They don't understand. I get it. They just trying to get that little bag. They just want to make candles and sell candles and get that little bag. I get it. But then, when you start talking to them about light and aromatherapy and different things like that, and who really put that shit into play, they don't want to hear that. They just want to make candles. The funniest thing, talking to one young lady who was making candles, her biggest thing was her logo. She didn't give shit about the candles. Not one motherfucking thing. But her logo was on fleek. Her logo was going to be popping. I'm like, really? That's all you care about is the logo? You don't care about what this candle is going to do for someone with the smell, whatever. Okay. I couldn't get through. I said, fuck it. I got tired of talking. I just got tired. Didn't make me no difference after that. That's why it's so easy now for me to stay to myself. I can keep my conversations. Hey, I can talk to myself, and I even argue with myself. It ain't like I talk to myself because I don't like talking to other people. No, I argue with myself. But it's a lot easier me doing that than arguing with somebody that I'm really just trying to help. I don't have any other investment into this other than just trying to help you do better. Because I believe when you present a product to somebody, you should always know more than they know. Always. If you don't know more than your client, you won't sell them more than once. You won't sell them more than once. Her shorts are way too short. And she ain't got enough in them. That's not good. It ain't even that hot out here to be wearing shorts. She just felt like doing that. I don't know. It'd be different if she was really showing something off. She's not even showing anything off. Put your leggings back on. You got a couple more weeks. Do some glute exercises. So, integration. Integration. Think about what integration has done for us out here. It allows us to go into places that white people can go into. That's what it did. It allowed us to do things that white people already did. Why was that so intriguing to us? If we had a split society and we had the same shit that white people had on their side, on our side, would we have cared about integrating? Would integration, would that have been on our marquee? Why would we have needed to? I mean, obviously, I don't have an issue with integration, but I got an issue with what they integrated. And I got an issue with what we fought to be integrated into. And Brother Martin, by the end of his life, he knew he had fucked up. He knew he had fucked up. Malcolm, Medgar, all of them were on it before. They knew we need to have our own fucking societies within this society. They ain't gonna treat us worth shit. Martin was trying to, hey, let's get with him. Let's get with him. Let's get with him. Right at the end, he was like, you know what? These motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit but beat the shit out of us and kill us. We need our reparations. We need our repair. And we get the fuck on. But a lot of people don't like that Martin. Most people only like the I have a dream Martin. Most people like that nice, little fade, thin mustache, soft talking Martin. They didn't like it when he let his natural grow out just a tad bit. When he thickened up his mustache just a tad bit. They didn't like that Martin. They didn't like him when he started speaking in the back rooms. When he started speaking in people's homes again. They like them big global speeches so everybody can be there. Nah, Martin just started speaking like little small collections of people. Then he started doing them interviews on the networks and shit, and that's getting put out to the masses. They're like, wait a minute, he ain't talking the same. 1967 into 1968, Martin wasn't talking the same. And J. Edgar Hoover was like, he got to get the fuck up out of here. We thought he was powerful before. He's about to get really powerful with the poor people's thing. This will fuck us up all the way together. He gonna have poor white people out there with poor black people? Nah, we can't do that. He gotta go. It's exactly what they did. And all the niggas standing around him on the balcony, compromised. I think except Hosea. I don't think Hosea was compromised. Most of them motherfuckers was compromised. Yep. Went in with guns, came out with jobs. Most people don't even know where that line comes from. They went in with guns and came out with jobs. The storm was coming. And they knew it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was just cloudy in the early 60s. Mid-60s, it started to rain. Late 60s, you had Malcolm dead, the Panthers kicking up, and Martin switching. Oh, shit. It started raining. And if he'd have put 500,000 to 1,000,000 people on the Capitol soil, shit would have changed. They knew this. They knew it. They knew it. And now you can't even get black people to figure out what we is. See, I don't mind when I say ADOF, ADOS. I don't mind saying that. I'll say ADOCS, whatever. It's all the same thing. I'm a descendant of slavery. I'm a descendant of freemen. I'm a descendant of chattel slavery. What I'm not is just a black person. I might just say that to be concise, but I know I'm more than black. But we can't even figure out that we all on the same page and we need repair. What we doing now, we just fucking ourselves up. Being all segregated, this over here and this over here and this over here. We get all together, man, this whole fucking world changes. Because with us galvanizing, who else is coming with us? There's a lot of people that don't want to be left out. A lot of people don't want to be left out. Think about this. Think about how many people, we talking about integration, how many integrated relationships got to come into the collective. And that's what you got to figure out. White men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, Latino men, Latino women, Middle Eastern men, Middle Eastern women. Y'all got y'all faction of people. But if y'all in relationships with black Americans, y'all coming in too. Or we breaking up today. You just got to look at your mate at that point and be like, look, are you with me? If you with me, we all going. If you not with me, then stay over here with your people. And good luck to you. That's how you know if you really integrated or not. Because she might not come. He might not come. They might not want to leave that posh situation. See, motherfuckers, look at Meghan and Harry one way. I look at Meghan and Harry another way. The way I see it, Meghan ain't got just no good gussy. Okay? Meghan ain't got just no good gussy. Harry can get good gussy anywhere. Black gussy, white gussy, don't matter. He can get gussy anywhere. She just ain't got no good gussy. Harry didn't want to be a part of that shit no more. If Harry wanted to live that posh lifestyle like his brother, he'd have just stayed. He'd have just conformed and be like, look, this is the way this shit's been for hundreds of years. Who am I to change it? We'll try to get along, to go along, bam, bam, bam. But Harry said, nah, I'm getting my family up out this bitch. I don't want to be a part of this shit. I know he did all the little fuck shit when he was a little bit younger. I get all that. But I think he saw that white supremacy really wasn't for him. It was just born into him. He didn't want that life. And I know people like that. I know people that got parents that's all fucked up. But they ain't never breathed that shit on me, towards my way. Male or female. Parents be fucked up. I'm talking like, we'll say nigga, like that nigga's outside. Really? And they would roll out, man, I hope you didn't hear that shit. What are you talking about? Oh, don't worry about it. And then I would have to coax the motherfucker. Be like, what are you talking about? I hope I didn't hear what? Hope I didn't hear what? Sooner or later, you have to tell me that I got called a nigga on the other side of the door. It is what it is, man. They weren't fucked up. Their parents might have been fucked up. They might have breathed that and taught that, but they didn't catch it. So I'm good with it. Yeah. Fear is a motherfucker. Fear is a motherfucker, man. I tell you. It stifles us. And our fear, Black American fear, is different than any other fear in the world. Okay? I can only liken anybody else's fear to Black American fear if they've gone through some type of sincere detriment on a generational level through their culture. I think this is why a lot of times Jewish people and black people can jive with one another because of their plights. I think that there's a faction of Native Americans who can jive with black people because of their plight. Not the motherfuckers who enslaved us too. Fuck them. Because if they enslaved us too, fuck you and your trail of tears. But if you was on that marginalized side, hell, like my grandmother, she was assumed black, but we already know she was Indian. Did nobody have hair like grandma? Her hair was fucking straight. But nobody really knew about the heritage and talked about heritage and all that shit then. But everybody knew she was just one of them dark Indians. Well, hell, now Indians look like Elizabeth Warren. Native Americans, I'm sorry. They'll say that's hate speech sometimes. You call a Native American Indian. That's what it was. Shit, I was listening to a video, listening, whatever, to a video earlier, and I think Malcolm X said Orientals. He didn't mean it to be disrespectful. It was just 1960 something. Nah, Lady Di wasn't having that. Lady Di was all about the people. Lady Di was all about the people. Now, I don't know where she came from, but I don't think they fuck with no broke people, right? She came from some money too, right? Probably. But she probably came from a little bit more conscious side of money or something. I don't know what it was. I ain't never heard about her people. But her people must have been halfway decent. Because Lady Di was never about the bullshit. She was never about the bullshit. And I appreciate everybody in the half space here. We went to 20, 27, 29. Yesterday we got as high as like 100 people that passed through. It was crazy. Information man brought some of his people with him. I like when people come to the party and they got shit. Don't just come to the party empty-handed, goddammit. Bring something. Bring something. And if you're gonna bring something, it better have some flavor in it, goddammit. Don't bring that without no flavor. Information man brought some flavor. So yeah. I know that we're in the position we're in because of decades of settling. We settled for people to be nice to us. We didn't settle for access. We shouldn't have stopped the fight until we got access. And that's what Dr. King was on. He was on the path to access because he had been on the path to acceptance. And that's why I stay with those two words. I'm not real bright out in this bitch, so I try to keep it simple. The people listening to me are far more intelligent than I am most of the time. I know I'm smarter than a couple of y'all motherfuckers, but most of the motherfuckers that listen to me are generally smarter than me. I've had conversations with someone be like, God damn, he's smart. I'm surprised I can even talk to him. Or, I know they say black men, they feel some kind of way if they talking to a strong black woman. No, I don't. I feel good. I feel good. Where I feel fucked up is when I'm talking to a black woman and she can't fucking formulate a sentence. I got a problem with that. Because then you all about that fuck shit. Bitch, if you can't spell, I don't want to see you twerking. If you don't have a career, I don't want to see you twerking. If you're not taking care of your family, I don't want to see you twerking. When you turn a certain age, talking about 48, where? 52, where? The same place your motherfucking kids are. Bitch, you ain't got no gray hair because you didn't take care of your kids. You ain't never had no problems. That's why you is. That's why you look so good. Somebody that took care of their kids, they weathered at 50. You ain't got a wrinkle? You ain't got a stretch mark? Oh, no. You've been doing all that work on yourself all them years and not taking care of your kids. That's where, bitch. Don't get out here acting stupid in the streets because I will call you on that shit. I will call you on it. Even the young ones now. And it's so funny. There's some of these young ones out here be calling out their age. I'll be like, really? 36 where? I'm like, bitch, I could have swore you was 49. I tell you what 36 is. 36 is 13 years ago because you look 49. Y'all need to stop that shit. And y'all know I don't be on nobody about no weight, no height, no hair. Y'all gonna do what all y'all gonna do. The thing that I have to deal with as far as weight goes with any woman, when you become uncomfortable with yourself, I become uncomfortable with you. So if you don't like it, change it. But don't be uncomfortable and then try to put everybody else on point because you're making them uncomfortable because they see your uncomfortable levels. Or discomfort. I don't know exactly how I should be using that word. I already told you I ain't that bright. You know. And we do this shit with material shit. We do this shit with material shit. We get a brand new motherfucking car. Beautiful car. Motherfucker be nice. Every option available. But you behind on your rent? Come on now. Or you get a real expensive car. You get a real expensive car. And you probably had to buy it because your credit ain't as good as it should be. So you get this real expensive car because you gotta be able to buy it. Big down payment, still big payment because your credit ain't that good. But you don't own a house. You bought a car, but you didn't buy the house. You bought an expensive car, but you didn't buy a cheap house. Okay. I've seen enough Range Rovers in apartments. I've seen enough. You got an $80,000 fucking truck and you paying for rent. Yeah. When you could have went and got a $40,000 truck and bought a house, you could have them both right there at the same place. Right there at the same place. How about a $30,000 house and, you know, whatever. How about you buy that car a couple years old? But no, we don't think that way because we want acceptance. We don't want access. And that would get us access into generational wealth. When you own your home, you have generational wealth. When you own a Range Rover and you don't own a home, you have generational ignorance. I know this isn't the quintessential discussion about integration, but this is how integration got us fucked up out here. We can go to all the nice places now. We can go to nice places. Just like white folks. Just like white folks. And I'm actually going to end on this because I want to play a little something, some audio at the end. Whenever I go somewhere, anybody that's ever vacationed with me, probably ain't nobody on this video, unless Ray's listening in. I don't ask the price of shit when I go places. I don't ask, when I'm on vacation, God damn it, if I gotta ask the price of some shit, I shouldn't have went on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I'm not on a budget. When I'm at home, I'm on a budget so I can work to get to vacation. What I'm doing being on a budget when I'm on vacation? Now, I'm not stupid either, so I don't go to places that I know I can't afford. So I really don't have to worry about the prices of shit. I don't go to restaurants, especially when you got kids. Kids is 25, so you start when they were small all the way up to now. And I ain't been on vacation with my daughters biologically, but we got Natty, now the grandkids coming up. When you go on vacation, you got kids, you already know your pocket's gonna be different. They're gonna be different. Not only that, they gonna ask for shit you normally don't buy when you at home. Get it, man. You're on vacation. You won't be able to get that next week because you won't be on vacation, so you might as well get it now. And like I said, you don't go places that you can't afford. Like, you don't go to restaurants and shit when you're on vacation that don't have the prices on the menu. You know, you have your kid up there talking about they want some shrimp because they see shrimp, not knowing that that's a fucking $35 shrimp cocktail. And they're not going to eat no raw shrimp. The shrimp they want is deep fried beer batter. My kids learned how to eat shit like that when they were younger, but, you know, soups and shit like that. I think both girls like French onion now. Because they saw me eat French onion. And they like French onion. Because we went out. We went on vacation. So, integration has to be about access. If not, we're still segregated. We can live here, be here, but if we can't do the same fucking thing, just like going to a restaurant. Why the fuck do I want to go to the restaurant and it's a steakhouse, but I only got hamburger money? I only got hamburger money. Everybody around me eating steak, but I'm eating a hamburger. Why the fuck would I want that? For acceptance? Nah. Nah. Now, if my kids go to the restaurant and they want a hamburger, okay, they want a hamburger. But I should be able to eat steak. But the top of my pay grade calls for a burger. Appreciate you, Free. Appreciate you. Let me get to this spot. Thought it was real interesting. And no offense to anybody that takes offense to what Malcolm said as far as Asian people went. It was just the way they spoke.
Is it fair to say, as a generality and as a succinct way to put it, that you believe in segregation of the races?
No, segregation is that which is, Mr. Muhammad says that segregation is that which is forced upon inferiors by superiors. Separation is done voluntarily by two equals. You never refer to the Oriental community in which Orientals live exclusively as a segregated community because they live there voluntarily. Everything there is controlled by them. The economy, the politics, the civic organizations, but the Negro community is referred.
You want support, Rollermark Unfiltered? I am horrible, I tell you.
Is it fair to say, as a generality and as a succinct way to put it, that you believe in segregation of the races?
No, segregation is that which is, Mr. Muhammad says that segregation is that which is forced upon inferiors by superiors. Separation is done voluntarily by two equals. You never refer to the Oriental community in which Orientals live exclusively as a segregated community because they live there voluntarily. Everything there is controlled by them. The economy, the politics, the civic organizations, but the Negro community is referred to as a segregated community because Negroes are forced to live in that community contrary to their will, and they don't control the businesses of their community. They don't control the politics of their community, nor their social life. White man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will. And then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes, do they hate them?
Malcolm got deep on that. He got deep on that. And it was a loaded question, and Malcolm unloaded. Later in his life, it's a few years after seeing white Muslims, black Muslims, all types of Muslims functioning as one, he went against that thinking. If we have the same belief, if we have the same allegiance, it shouldn't matter what our color is. And that's the shit I'm on. If we're in allegiance to one another, not agreeance, allegiance. Shouldn't matter what our color is. But if our color is going to keep us from being in allegiance, then it is what it is, motherfucker. Make a move. And see, we just didn't have it that way before. But where there's race soldiers and all different types of people around and abound, I get it. But their numbers is lessening and lessening. It ain't like we're going to have some Klan uprisings. Even the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and all them, they all bitches. And they nominal. We got 40 million black Americans. I'm not talking black immigrants as far as Nigerians or Kenyans or Ghanaians or anybody from Africa or Jamaicans or Haitians or Dominicans. I'm not, no. I'm just talking about 40 million black Americans. Just think of them other factions of people who came over here voluntarily to milk the resources of black people, got with us. How many more of them do you think it is? Another 25? Probably about another 25 million. You add up all the Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Dominicans, the people from Bahamas, Africans, another 20, 25, easy. And we starting to fuck with the dominant society's numbers because their numbers are dwindling. You know what? I haven't been driving on these long ones lately because I would literally just be driving through my city showing you the same shit. I only go like certain places because I know where the Wi-Fi picks up, but I appreciate you. I'll do a live on the road, my next one, probably within a few hours. Some people don't like when I drive because I get my whole life into the video and everything, things that I see, that I encounter. But I really don't give a fuck about what they like. I just, I be laughing. Some of the comments that people leave on YouTube. People don't like, because I smoke hemp and I talk and I'm on camera. They don't like all that either. They don't even think I should record, but they think I should not smoke and but But what I smoke and what they drink while they drive or snort or pop, totally different. What I'm doing is totally legal and it's not intoxicating. What they do gets them fucked up in the middle of the day and they go back to work like that and infect their workspace. Do you often get angry at bad drivers? I don't necessarily get angry. I just, once I recognize it and if it's fucked up, I just, I've been driving so long in so many different capacities, from delivering office products to delivering cannabis. I mean, I worked for one of the most straight arrow motherfuckers and delivered, reams of paper for him. And then I worked for a person with a foot-long beard and I delivered cannabis for him. Two totally different worlds. And I've seen it all in between. I've driven food, I've driven people. I don't really get upset. I just, perplexed It's probably a better word. Some people just don't deserve a driver's license. I've seen it. I'm like, there's no way that person knows really how to drive if they just did what they just did. Just wasn't out of negligence. A lot of times, some people just don't know. I mean, I've seen people just drive and just woo right in front of you. Like, hey, did you know you couldn't do that? No, I didn't. Or make U-turns like on major thoroughfares. Just make a U-turn right in the middle of the street. Like, nobody taught you that you couldn't do that? That you needed to, like, turn on a street and then come back? Just turn right in the middle. No. Yeah. It is what it is. Are you a motorcyclist or are you a bicyclist? My job is to deliver stuff. My job is to deliver results. That's my job. I deliver results. I don't necessarily deliver stuff. I deliver results. Bicyclists, okay. That's big in my area. Are you familiar with Ann Arbor, Michigan? We have bike lanes here. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I know my question. We have bike lanes here. What up, D? I'm just finishing up my live. Let me get with you in a minute. All right, bro. Good brother there, but I just couldn't talk to him. Going to finish it up, but I didn't want to let him go to voicemail. But he understands what I'm doing. Yeah, we have bike lanes. Bicyclists here are just as important as motorists. I appreciate a good bicyclist. I do. If you're not a good bicyclist, then I don't appreciate you because you have some capabilities that I don't have. And if you do the things that you're supposed to do and I do the same thing, then we should be able to coexist. But there's some bicyclists who find it to be a problem with motorists. It's a problem. And I understand bicycles were around here, before cars in masses, but that was kind of a long time ago. And you run into the side of a car, you're going to dent my car. If I run into the side of your Peugeot bicycle, I don't even know if they make bicycles still. I just remember Peugeot being a nice bicycle. I'm going to do some real damage to your bicycle and possibly you. Yeah, most bicyclists hate motorists because most motorists are assholes and they don't really understand. I get it. I don't blame bicyclists for hating motorists, for the most part, but we're not all the same. Some of us empathize, like I empathize with semi drivers more so than a lot of people do. People don't know how to drive around semi drivers. I do. You don't fuck with semi drivers. You give them that room on the front. You give them that room, the fishtail and all that shit. You don't know what they're dealing with. A lot. They're dealing with a lot. Height wise, length wise, they're dealing with a lot. So you ride up on semi drivers that don't give them room to move. It's not good. And bicyclists should always ride near the front if they're going to be by semi drivers. They shouldn't ride in the back because if they can't see you and they fishtail you, man, they will swat you. They will swat you. That's probably death. Because if they possibly make you go airborne, you land. That's bad. And hopefully there's not another car where you end up landing. That could be bad. So yeah. Well, now that we've brightened up the conversation with bicycling, and death. I'll end with, this is a really good interview with Muhammad Ali. Just because he was just being himself and the interview was just being himself, but no matter what he said, it wasn't going to sound right to one faction of people, and it wasn't going to sound right to another faction of people. So he just said, fuck it. He just said what he said.
People to move in the neighborhoods, but clean their own neighborhoods. And another thing, when you say immigration, it comes on the intermarriage too, right? All been together. Right, sure. And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half brown, kinky-haired black people. I wouldn't object to that. Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would. Well, I'm sure a lot of people. No, it's just the point. What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You're on the show, and you got to say that. That's not true. Why would you want to do that? Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see? Yeah, we much different. I mean, I think society's made us different. You know we're different. We all together. But society's made us different. No, not society. God made us different. No, we're just human beings. He made all of us. We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons. Tell me when I'm right. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they've got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzards like to fly around the desert. Well, the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass. Problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there? What? Right. And we have the problems too. No, I don't see no black and white couples in England or America walking around proud, holding their children. That's because society and going out. That's society's fault. We've got to educate people around it. Well, life is too short for me to be raised catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. No trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand? I understand. Yeah, I do understand. I understand. I think it's sad that it ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted-eyed, pretty brown-skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry number Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when He made us all like we were. I think that's a philosophy of despair. Despair. I really do. It ain't no despair. Number one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, and last is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we're in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy because she's going to hear some Puerto Rican music, he's going to hear some Chinese music. And they're going to be flashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own. I love my people. That's all. I don't hate nobody.
Crazy shit. Y'all be good.